Hello and welcome. My name is Anna, and I wanted to share a little bit of a practice to support when we're getting overwhelmed and we need to come back to ourselves and settle and soften into the moment. Because overwhelm, as disturbing it is temporary, and we can support that shift out of that state. But we don't want to force it. We don't want to override our system. We want to allow our system to do what it may need to do and express itself and take its own time. So this practice is here to support that process, and you may find that the overwhelm settles down really quickly, or it may just take the edge off. Either way, I love to hear your feedback, so I would really appreciate your comments, and especially around your experiences with the practice, however it turns out for you. All right, I'm going to invite you to lay down for this one, and you may notice my little fluffy dog here, Maui, is here to just soften into this space as well, although he's chosen an odd place to sit. All right, so I invite you to lay down and make yourself comfortable. We're going to be keeping knees bent at this stage. So feet flat on the floor. You're also most welcome to do this practice on a bed. To lay down however you like. I'd like to just bring my hands underneath my upper thigh and roll down one vertebrae at a time, which is just really nice to stretch and lengthen out my spine. So you can lift your hips up just to help lay the lower back down softly and flatten it out. And then we're just going to bring one hand over the heart and one hand over the belly, and then see if you can let the elbows rest and relax on the floor. And just here, begin to notice your breath, being aware of the inhale and the exhale. So we're not trying to change anything or control anything. We're not taking any deep breaths. We're just cultivating curiosity around our breath and how we feel. Like perhaps this is the first time you've really come into and felt your breath or noticed your body feeling in a sense of overwhelm. So it might be the first time it's like, oh, this is what overwhelm feels like. So it's really just being curious. And we also want to, there's many reasons life can be very stressful, and there's many reasons you could be in overwhelm. We want to step out of those reasons, those stories, the conditions, and just be in this moment, just with the breath, just with your body. And you can also, as you're aware of your breath, being aware of the surface below you. So noticing the weight of your body on the floor or the bed, noticing the areas, the bottom of the feet, the back that touch onto the floor. And just know that the floor, the bed, it's representative of the earth, which just holds you and is always there to support you. And you may notice a desire to sigh or yawn or gasp. Take a sharp inhale. Just whatever arises, just allow it. You may notice as you come into your body and into the breath, your body might want to shake, or it might tremble a little bit, or it may want to suddenly move in some strange way. Also allow that. This is the great thing about doing online yoga, where you're in your own space. If things come up during your yoga session that you may think your body wants to move in an odd way, or you may even just coming into the body and the breath and slowing down can create an emotional response. You may want to cry. Whatever happens when we're in the safety of our own space, we can just allow that to be, because no one's there to judge us if that's what we think would happen. And here I can invite you, if you like, you can stay just with the feet flat on the floor, or you can bring the feet together and let the knees fall out to the side. And you can just let them hang there, or you could bring a cushion or a blanket just to settle underneath the knees and just create a little bit of extra support there so there's not so much stress on the hips. And then just noticing, and just take a moment to feel into the hips as well and notice how they feel. And you can keep your one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest if you like, or I can invite you to experiment. We're doing sort of a little bit of a hug. It's called the spleen hug. So we're bringing our hand over the rib cage on each side and crossing the arms in front of us. And so we've got our hands resting on part of the spleen meridian points. And the spleen meridian is about, or the spleen is about assimilation of nutrients into the blood. But the spleen meridian also supports the assimilation of experiences and emotions. So just by bringing our hands here, we're creating a connection with the electromagnetics of the body. The movement of energy through the meridians seems to be particularly electrical, and working on that level as well. So just out of supporting the energy flowing into that part of the body. So we're not trying to do anything, we're not trying to achieve anything, we're just noticing our breath, holding ourselves in a particular way. Our hips hold a lot of emotions and stress. So by opening up the legs, we're sort of creating a bit of space through the hips. So you don't need to try and do anything here, but just notice, like, we've been laying here for a little bit, and just notice if there's any difference in the sensation now through the hips as there was when you first came into this position. And you may decide in this practice that you actually just want to stay here for about 10-15 minutes, or any other time you might find this is something that feels really good, and you can do that as well. So you're welcome to stay here. Otherwise, I invite you to release the hands. I'm just going to gently use the hands to help support bringing the legs back together. And then we're just going to bring the knees into the chest, giving a nice little hug. And sometimes it can be really supportive to make ourselves small. You can feel that same comfortable sensation of that curling up into ourselves. If you like, you can lift the head up towards the knees to feel that even more, or you can just leave it on the floor. Just see what feels right. You may decide just to rock a little bit side to side. Just getting a little massage through the back of the spine. And if you find it's too hard to hold over the knees, you can always hold underneath, just doing what works for you and your body. And then just can release the grip and bring the hands on top of the knees, and then just using the hands to draw circles with the knees. And as you notice, just feel into the lower back and the hips. We're just giving a little gentle massage through that lower back. And then going around the other way. And then coming back to center. And then just bring the feet back to the floor, and then we're just going to roll over onto one side so that we can gently push ourselves back up to seated. So if you're sitting on the floor or on the bed, it can be really helpful to have something underneath you. I've got my blanket here, so it just creates a little bit more support. You can always bring yourself up a little bit higher. Just see what works for you. So when we lift our hips up above our knees, it just supports us being able to stay with our spine upright. So especially if you're on a bed and the bed sinks down where your weight is heaviest, it's really helpful to have something that will lift you up. And we're just going to take a moment and rub our hands together. So I mentioned a little bit about the electromagnetics of our system. So we're wanting to stimulate the electromagnetic field of the hands. We can do this by rubbing them together quite briskly, creating a little bit of warmth. And then you can bring the hands apart and just bring them back together. And you might notice there's a little bit of a squishy feel there, a little bit of resistance, as though you're bringing two magnets together of the same poles, and they won't touch each other, they push each other apart. If you don't feel much, you can bring both hands in front of you, one facing up, one facing down, and just very quickly flicking the hands back and forth, turn them up the other way. This is simply just to stimulate the electromagnetic fields of the hand, and then coming back, and hopefully you can feel a little bit there. So again, just give the hands a little bit of warmth, and then we're just going to bring the heels of our palms onto the cheekbones and laying the palms over the top of the eyes. If you're still laying down, you can do this laying down as well. So we're also covering some neurovascular points on the forehead that help bring blood back into the neurovascular system, help support releasing a little tension and stress. Make sure your eyes are closed behind the palms, so kind of create a little bit of pitch black darkness, helping the optic nerve relax. We hold a lot of stress in our optic nerve. And just again, come back to noticing your breath. Then we're going to bring the hands and the fingertips just down and gently brushing across the eyes a few times. Then coming over to the temples, and you can just give a little massage to the temples. And then from the temples, we're going to trace down behind the ears, so getting really close behind that ear and down the side of the neck. Just doing that twice more from the temples, down the side of the neck, connecting with our triple warmer, which helps soothe our nervous system. And then giving that a little relax and shake. And then you might decide it can be good to just swap the legs around every once in a while. So we can sort of make sure we're balanced and even on each side. And then we're just going to bring our arms up and dropping the elbows down a little bit. Just know you can experiment. If it feels comfortable having them a bit higher, do that. If it feels a bit better having them a bit lower, we want to have as relaxed position as possible in this position. And then we're just going to inhale and bring our elbows sort of back behind us, feeling our shoulders blades squeeze together, and then exhale, release the arms forward. Then inhale, pulling back, squeezing the shoulder blades down and back towards each other. Exhale, coming forwards. Inhale, squeezing back, opening up, feeling that stretch across the chest, feeling it open in space. Exhale, releasing. Inhaling, pulling back. Exhale. We're just going to start making this movement of the exhale a little bit bigger, so you can round the spine back, let the head follow the natural movement of the spine. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, rounding forward, letting the head drop forward a little bit too. Inhale, opening back up. Exhale. Inhale, rounding back up. Exhale, coming forwards. Inhale, opening back up. Last time, exhale, so maybe bring the hands all the way together. Inhale, opening back up. So just experimenting as you exhale how far forward the arms come. Inhale, opening up, and then releasing the arms. You might just want to give them a little shake and a wriggle. Okay, so we're just going to keep working to open up some space on the shoulders. So we're just going to bring our right hand down beside us, and then inhale, sweep the left arm up, and we're going to look towards that palm. And then on the exhale, drop the elbow back, looking down towards the right hand. Inhale, looking up towards the palm. Exhale, down towards the other hand. Inhale, reaching up, feeling that lengthen across the side body. Exhale, down towards the hand. Inhale, looking up. Then exhale, sweeping down, looking towards the hand. And then just letting that left arm float in space. And feeling and letting the neck relax. So you're really letting that head just drop and be held. And feeling that opening up and the lengthening along the left side of the neck and the left top of the shoulder. And you can experiment sort of with twisting that left hand around, maybe moving the arm, and just little movements just to see what feels best for you. Keep breathing. So awareness through that left side of the neck and shoulder and the breath. And then gently pushing back up. And we're going to take a moment, just roll the shoulders back and forth. And then we'll go over to the other side. So bring our left hand down, then inhale the right hand up, looking up towards that hand. Exhale, elbow goes back, looking towards the left hand. Inhale, looking back up. Exhale, elbow down, looking towards the left hand. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale, sweeping that arm back as you look towards the hand. And again, letting the right arm now float in the air. And just notice and feel through that right side of the neck and the shoulder, doing those little micro movements. Noticing and feeling how it can feel quite different from the other side. And then gently pushing yourself back up. Again, maybe just doing a little shoulder roll. And then just bringing your awareness back to your breath. Just noticing your breath, noticing your body, feeling the weight of your body on the floor, the surface beneath you. So notice breath, notice your body, and then just going to soften our belly, and then open up our heart. Notice the breath, soften the belly, open the heart. Notice the breath, soften the belly, open the heart. Then gather the awareness into the very center of the chest, the energetic heart, and imagine as though you're breathing in and out of this space. In a few ancient languages, the same word is used for breath and spirit. So it's through our breath and coming into the center of this heart. There's what some call a chamber, a cave, a cavity of the heart, and within this space is a divine flame or a divine spark that is the light of your spirit, and it connects you to the spiritual essence of all of life. And sometimes when we're overwhelmed, when we're stressed, we can feel so disconnected from ourselves and the world around us. So when we slow down, we can come back and reconnect with this own essence of ourselves. So I invite you to rest here for as long as you like. And please send me any comments on how this practice was for you. And I wish you a beautiful day, night, or sleep, wherever you are in your day. Namaste.